Shalom, shalom. Call halal. Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Bahashim Rakakwadash. Double honors the apostles of Great Millstone, all right, who taught me this truth. This is Naaman. And I ran across this article from the web news system, all right, webnewssys.com. And it's going into what they just recently found. I say recent, all right. They've known about it for a good number of years now, all right. But in the context of time, all right, it's fairly recent, all right. It said this is the world's largest pyramid, and it's hidden inside a mountain. It says while the Pyramid of Giza is a remarkable ancient structure which rightly holds the title of the Great Pyramid of Egypt, it isn't the largest pyramid out there. So where do you want to imagine that this pyramid they found is? All right. It says, in fact, there are a number of other massive pyramids scattered all over the world, which, like the Great Pyramid of Giza, is proof of our ancestors' architectural ingenuity and ability. And I'll be willing to bet as I go down here, you're going to find out that the person that wrote this is an Edomite. And again, this is something that they're trying to make their own as they do. All right. And it isn't. And the reason I'm doing this is because where this was found, and it goes back to Israel. All right. It says the pyramid of, don't hold it against me. I'm going to try to pronounce it as best I can, Colula, located in Mexico, has been hidden deep inside a mountain for hundreds of years. Covered by grass, trees, deep layers of soil, and hidden from modern society, this pyramid is considered to be the most massive structure ever built on the surface of our planet. Think about that. This devil likes to push it in everybody's face that he's the most technologically advanced ever in the history of the world. You know, his red, nasty ass. I'm talking about the descendants of Esau, these Edomites, all right? Well, let's get that word. I'll come back to it later because if I do that, I'm on a, well, you know what, whatever. Let's get it now. Let's see. Because this is Esau in a nutshell. Here it is. This word here I often bring. Let's see. I don't know why it's taking so long to load. Oh, crap. Let's try it again. There we go. All right, pretentious. And this is these Edomites, these so-called white people, in a nutshell, says claiming that or behaving as if one is important or deserving of merit when such is not the case. All right. Showing or betraying an attitude of superiority marked by an extravagant or presumptuous outward show, ostentatious, all right, showy. One of those synonyms. All right, so back to the article. All right. It says this pyramid, is considered to be the most massive structure ever built on the surface of our planet, with a base 4 times that of the Great Pyramid of Giza. It is as large as 9 Olympic-sized swimming pools. Researchers still don't know who built this massive structure, but legend has it that it was erected by giants. See, anything to take away from the laborers, I should say, of Israel. Think of Wisdom of Solomon, 5th chapter. This is part of that. All right, actually 5. Let's see. Let's go. I'll read it real quick. All right. Wisdom of Solomon 5. All right. It says, then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness, which is what we're doing, before the face of such as have afflicted him, and made no account of his labors. This is part of that. All right. It can be anybody. It can be aliens. All right. They can be genetically altered cockroaches, whatever have you, anything but the children of Israel, and specifically the northern kingdom here. All right. It says, on top of the mountain, Spanish conquistadors led by Hernan Cortez built a small church, not knowing that beneath it was a massive pyramid like no other on earth. In fact, it wasn't until 1910, that's why I said until very recently, all right, that the Great Pyramid of Kolula was discovered. All right. You still got people alive that are alive today that were alive back here at this time. Want proof of that? Let's go there. All right. These are super centenarians. All right. It says 100 oldest living people. It says upon the death of Chiyu Mayako of Japan on 22 July 2018. All right. Whatever her name is, Kane Tanaka, all right, became the oldest living person. And we see here, this is her. She was born January 2nd, 1903, still alive. So she's 117 years and 29 days as of today. All right. And then you have Lucille Randon of France, 115 years. Maria Miranda de Assis of Brazil, 115 years. All right. Maria Kononovich of Belarus, 115 years. All right. Then we go down to Greece. Katerina Konaro, 114 years. I think you get the picture. I don't have to keep going over this. Ones and let me get the legend here. Says a dynamic list. All right. So I think you get it. United States, we have Hester Ford. All right. 114 years. All right. And so forth and so forth. Actually got two here. All right. So there you go. People still alive. Since this was discovered. All right. It says, if the mere size, and this is part of it here, if the mere size of the Great Pyramid of Kolula isn't fascinating enough, then the fact that this structure isn't a single pyramid, but 6 structures built on top of each other, surely must be. Now, the thing is, when you go back into the scriptures, it adds up because, well, let's get it. You know that what happened in, this is Exodus chapter 1. I'm just going to start at the top. He says, now these are the names of the children of Israel which came into Egypt. Every man in his household came with Jacob. All right, because this is just after Jacob died. The remainder of the family went down, into Egypt. It says Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, and Benjamin, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, and Asher. And all the souls that came out of loins of Jacob were 70 souls, for Joseph was in Egypt already. Joseph, Yahweh, he will add. What did he add? What did he add? Manasseh and Ephraim. All right. And Joseph died, and all his brethren, and all that generation. And the children of Israel were fruitful, and increased abundantly, and multiplied, and waxed exceeding mighty. And the land was filled with them. All right. So, hey, the more you put hell on Jake, the more Jake puts it in, and you got more children. All right. It says, now there rose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph. And he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. Come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply, and it come to pass that when there falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemies, and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land. Therefore they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens, and they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Ramses. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew. And they were grieved because of the children of Israel, and the Egyptians made the children of Israel serve with rigor. All right, let's go into that. All right. Strong's H6531. All right. Parak. Harshness, severity, cruelty. All right. All right. All right. And they made their lives bitter with hard bondage and mortar and in brick and in all manner of service in the field. All their service wherein they made them serve was with rigor, harshness, cruelty. All right. And the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew midwives, of which the name of one was Shiphrah, and the name of the other Puah. And he said, when you do the office of a midwife to the Hebrew women, and see them upon the stools, if it be a son, then ye shall kill him. But if it be a daughter, then ye shall live. Then she shall live. But the midwives feared the Most High, and did not as the king of Egypt commanded them, but saved the men children alive, which is proof, all right, that the lineage is dependent upon the male. All right. And the king of Egypt called for the midwives and said unto them, why have ye done this, and have saved the men children alive? And the midwives said unto Pharaoh, because the Hebrew women are not as the Egyptian women, for they are lively, and are delivered ere the midwives come in unto them. Therefore the Most High dealt well with the midwives, and the people multiplied and waxed very mighty. And it came to pass, because the midwives feared the Most High, that he made them houses. And Pharaoh charged all his people, saying, every son that is born ye shall cast into the river, and every daughter ye shall save alive. All right. Just to give you an example or insight into what's going on here. All right. So they put hell on our people. All right. You got both southern and northern kingdoms here. All right. Now we're going to skip to where the division came. All right, this is 1 Kings chapter 10. Let's see. Let's see. And this is where Solomon in his old age began to go off. Whoops. All right, and he started building places for it wasn't the fact that he was dealing with women of the other nations. He started worshiping their gods and building. What the hell is going on? Hold on. So not again. I got to go back and come back. Salaki. Building temples. All right, for these heathen gods. All right, that's where he went off. All right. Let's start at the top. It says, but King Solomon loved many strange women, together with the daughter of Pharaoh, women of Moab, present-day Chinese, Ammonites, present-day Japanese, Edomites, all right, so-called white people, Zidonians, and Hittites, all right, when getting into Hamites, all right. Of the nations concerning which the Most High Yahweh said unto the children of Israel, ye shall not go into them, neither shall they come in unto you. For surely they will turn away your heart after their gods. Solomon clave unto these in love. And he had 700 wives, princesses, and 300 concubines, and his wives turned away his heart. All right. For it came to pass when Solomon was old that his wives turned away his heart after other gods. And it's telling you what his sin was there, and his heart was not perfect with the Most High, his power, as was the heart of David, his father. All right, skipping on down. All right. Let's see. Going into Hadad. All right. Let's see. There it is. Let's see. Bit too far. All right. This is 1 Kings 11. Yeah, I'll start at 23 and says, and the Most High stirred him up because this is what happened after uh, Solomon went off. It says, and the Most High stirred him up another adversary, Rezon the son of Eliadah, which fled from his lord uh, Hadad, Hadadezer, king of Zobah. And he gathered men unto him and became captain over a band when David slew them of Zobah. And they went to Damascus and dwelt therein and reigned in Damascus. And he was an adversary to Israel all the days of Solomon, beside the mischief that Hadad did. And he abhorred Israel and reigned over Syria. And Jeroboam the son of Nebat, an Ephrathite of Zeredah, Solomon's servant, whose mother's name was Zeruah, a widow woman, even he lifted up his hand against the king. And this was the cause that he lifted up his hand against the king. Solomon built Millo and repaired the breaches of the city of David his father. And the man Jeroboam was a mighty man of valor. And Solomon, seeing the young man that he was industrious, he made him ruler over all the charge of the house of Joseph, which is northern kingdom. And it came to pass at that time when Jeroboam went out of Jerusalem that the prophet Ahijah the Shilonite found him in the way, and he had clad himself with a new garment, and they two were alone in the field. Shilonite, all right. And Ahijah caught, whoops, and Ahijah caught the new garment that was on him and rent it in 12 pieces. And he said to Jeroboam, take thee 10 pieces, for thus saith the Most High Yahweh, the power of Israel, behold, I will rend this kingdom out of the hand of Solomon, and will give 10 tribes to thee. But he shall have one tribe for my servant David's sake, and for Jerusalem's sake, and the city which I have chosen out of all the tribes of Israel, because that they have forsaken me, and have worshipped Ashtaroth, the goddess of the Zidonians, Chemosh, the god of the Moabites, and Milcom, the god of the children of Ammon, and have not walked in my ways to do that which is right in mine eyes, and to keep my statutes and my judgments, as did David his father. Howbeit, I will not take the whole kingdom out of his hand, but I will make him prince all the days of his life, for David my servant's sake, whom I chose, because he kept my commandments and my statutes. But I will take the kingdom out of his son's hand, and will give it unto thee, even 10 tribes. And unto his son will I give one tribe, that David my servant may have a light always before me in Jerusalem, the city which I have chosen me to put my name there. And I will take thee, and thou shalt reign according to all that thy soul desireth, and shall be king over Israel. And it shall be, if thou wilt hearken unto all that I command thee, and wilt walk in my ways, and do that is right in my sight, to keep my statutes and my commandments, as David my servant did, that I will be with thee, and build thee a sure house, as I built for David, and will give Israel unto thee. All right. And I will for this afflict the seed of David, but not forever. All right. So he's saying that's another clue as to, well, did he do away with the children of Israel? No, he didn't. They're being chastised, punished. All right. Solomon sought therefore to kill Jeroboam, and Jeroboam arose and fled into Egypt unto Shishak, king of Egypt, and was in Egypt until the death of Solomon. And the rest of the acts of Solomon and all that he did and his wisdom, are they not written in the books of Solomon? All right. And it tells you Solomon, I think it's really sensitive. And then Solomon's reign was 40 years. Let's go 12. All right. And it says, and Rehoboam went to Shechem, for all Israel were come to Shechem to make him king. And it came to pass when Jeroboam the son of Nebat, who was yet in Egypt, heard of it, for he was fled from the presence of King Solomon, and Jeroboam dwelt in Egypt, that they sent and called him, and Jeroboam and all the congregation of Israel came and spake unto Rehoboam, saying, thy father made our yoke grievous. Now therefore make thou the grievous service of thy father, and his yoke heavy, which he put upon us, lighter, and we will serve thee. All right. And he said unto them, depart yet for 3 days, then come again to me. And the people departed. And King Rehoboam consulted with the old men that stood before Solomon, his father, while he yet lived, and said, how do ye advise that I may answer this people? And they spake unto him, saying, if thou wilt be a servant unto this people this day, and wilt serve them, Salakia. I got to do it again. I apologize. So what I'm going to do here because of time, um, I'll just go over this again. I'm going to make a part two. And King Rehoboam consulted with the old men that stood before Solomon his father while he had lived, and said, How do ye advise that I may answer this people? And they spake unto him, saying, If thou wilt be a servant unto his people this day, and wilt serve them, and answer them, and speak good words to them, then they will be thy servants forever. But he forsook the counsel of the old men, which they had given him, and consulted with the young men that were grown up with him, and which stood before him, his boys. All right, he didn't take to heart the wise counsel of the people, of the older people who had the experience. All right. First mistake. All right, so I might say second. All right, so I'm gonna cut this here, and I'm gonna make it part two. So call halal Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua Bahashim Rakakradash. Double honors once again to the apostles of Great Millstone. All right, you taught me this truth. Salutations to Akim out there on the highways and byways, pushing this truth, all honest sincerity. Hopes waking up the hopeful elect. So with that, shalom. Stay tuned for part two. Shalom.